2004 Ford Focus, repairing the air conditioner of a defective low pressure switch. It was causing a lot of issues. It was causing the low side and the high side pressure to go high, and the clutch will engage and it wouldn't run. So this mechanically failed. It did not electrically fail, mechanically failed. So it wasn't doing the job. Okay, so I got a new low pressure switch from Amazon. That's the part number there. Get it from Amazon. Alright, it's the exact fit. This is the new one here. Exact fit. Okay, when you move in this, just loosen it with a small crescent wrench because it's tight. And unscrew it from the port. Then use a flathead, small flathead, and pry it off with the connector at the bottom. Kind of push back on it and then pull it up. That's the easiest way to do it. Alright. So you loosen this, turn it off of the port on the line. When it comes loose, like I said, you want to disconnect the wire harness last. Okay, you need a little flathead, put it up underneath there. Pull the top back a little bit and pull it up. It will disconnect from the wire harness. Alright, this is the old one. It mechanically failed. It did not electrically fail. It mechanically failed. So I'm putting a new one in. Okay? So if you got Ford Focus like mine, you gotta remove this steering fluid out of the way, the bottle, and take this little bracket off so you get clearance. Alright, because you're gonna be touching this and be scraping up your hands. You want to take it out. Alright, so I'm gonna weigh the charger, and it takes about 24 to 32 ounces of 134A. So you need one of these. Alright, you need one of these. You can put in your vents, turn your air conditioner up high, put it in the vent so you can see what temperature it drops down to. Normally it drops down between 45 to 40 degree air coming out of that vent. Alright, you need one of these. So I'm gonna weigh the 134 and I'm gonna dump liquid into the condenser and fill it up. Alright, I'm gonna dump liquid. Once it stops dumping, I'm gonna let it sit for a few minutes. Then I'm gonna start the car up, turn the air conditioner on full blast, and then charge from the low side. Okay, see how the cooling is doing inside the car. That's why you need one of these thermometers. Alright, like I said, between 40 to 45. Alright, pretty simple. Got a vacuum pump. I'm gonna run the vacuum pump for like 30 minutes. I'm gonna bring the vacuum down to like 29 to 30 inches of vacuum. Alright, I'm gonna let it sit after that for like 15 minutes to see if I have any leaks. Okay, what I did, I nitrogen pressure checked this before I go through all this. I didn't want to make sure I had a big leak going through all this, so I pressure it with nitrogen to make sure there was no leak. Alright, see, so I'm just putting this information out there. This is where the low side is. This is where your accumulator is. This tank here, this store your refrigerant. Alright, this is like a little tank in there. See that little tank? This right here I'm touching, that's your little tank. This is where the low side is. Then you got a high. Then you got a high side right here. This is your low side and high side. Alright, so, and right down here, if you look, this here is a high pressure switch. Alright, it's on the high side, and this is the low side. Okay, the bigger line over your low side. Alright. And this is your, like I said, this is your low pressure switch. Alright. So I'm gonna put it on there. I'm gonna hand tighten it, then I'm gonna snug it with a wrench. Alright. You don't need to over tighten it, you're just snugging it. Alright. So you put it on in there, screw it on. Nice and even. Alright. Just like that. Then you get a little crescent and snug it up. You don't need that much tightening. And then you put your wire harness back on. Alright. Really simple. It's in a little tight spot, but that's how air conditioning work is. Everything is tight. Everything is tight. That's nice and snug in there. Alright. See, this is the wire harness right here. See right here. You can get this heat shield at Harbor Freight. I'm gonna put a new piece on there because this one is dry rotted. So I'm gonna put a new piece. Like I said, how you go Harbor Freight and get it. Get that different size. Or you can go AutoZone, O'Reilly's, they have it too. Alright, so I'm gonna put a piece of new heat shield over that and plug in. And like I said, when you're taking this off, you want to get yourself a wrench, loosen it, and then leave the harness on, and then do that last. Take the harness off last. Alright, you can see better how to put the screwdriver, raise the top up, and pull it out with your hand. Alright, so I'm gonna put a vacuum on it for 30 minutes, and I'm gonna let it sit for like 15 minutes. Alright, like I said, I'm gonna put like 29 to 30 inches of vacuum. Alright, I do stuff the old-fashioned way. Okay, I've been in the trade a long time, and I do stuff the old-fashioned way. Alright, so I got my ports open, ready for a vacuum. Like I said, I'm gonna run it for 30 minutes. Let it hold for 15 minutes. So I'm looking between 29 to 30 inches of vacuum. Alright. Do my vacuum on. And this is a good vacuum. If you need a vacuum, I got this as a kit. Okay? I got this as a kit. Got the 2 ports open, and I'm looking between 29 to 30 inches of vacuum. I'm gonna let it run for 30 minutes and let it sit for 15 minutes. So before you shut that vacuum pump off, close your high side and your low side. And let it sit for 15 minutes. If this needle rises about 29 to 30, you got a leak. Alright? But what I did, I nitrogen check it and let it hold, and it holds. So I'm good. I ain't gotta go over and do all this work anymore. Alright? So you see, I'm gonna dump the charge in here on the high side, liquid. I'll flip the can down and dump in there. Then when it stops taking, I'm gonna start it, put the thermometer in the vent, turn the air conditioner full blast, and I'm looking between 40 and 45 degrees coming out of that vent. Alright, and then I know it's fully charged. It's working at 100%. This is a scale, measuring scale. Alright, that's it. You can get this refrigeration kit. It comes with the gauge. It comes with a pump. It comes with all the fittings you need. Alright, get on Amazon. It's like, forget how much I pay for it. You're like 168 or something around there. But this is a good pump. And when you're buying a vacuum pump, you want to have good horsepower on it. So this is a 1/3 horsepower, 4 CFM. Alright, 4 CFM, 1/3 horsepower. You always want to go with a bigger horsepower and more CFM. The more CFM it pulls out there is better for the system. When you put in the 134 in there, after you vacuum, they're going to suck it right in. Alright? And this is the correct way how you do an air conditioning system for a vehicle. It's the same principle as your house. It has the same everything. It has compressor, condenser, metering device, evaporator coil, everything just like a house. The only thing, it's on a car. Alright? I need to buy another can of 134 here. Right here. I think I have probably like 3 pounds left in it. 3 pounds left in it. 134 here. Alright, so it's pulling the vacuum down, which is real good. It's at 30 on the lower side. When you're doing air conditioning work, it's like your house. Okay? It's costly just like your house. Same principle. So if I was to replace the evaporator coil in this vehicle, it would probably run about 3,000 easy, just to pull that evaporator coil out, because you got to pull that whole dash down on this Ford Focus. Most of the cars is like that. The evaporator is behind the dash. Okay, and it's expensive. It's a lot of time consuming and labor. I mean, that's just the evaporator coil. We're not talking about, you know, the others, like the condenser coil. But if you ever was to replace your compressor, alright, you want to replace the condenser coil, the evaporator coil, and your metering device at the same time. You can replace the receiver too. But the rule of thumb is you just don't replace the compressor and leave the condenser and leave the metering device. Okay? You want to replace it, because you could have problems. Because once your compressor fails, there could be a lot of obstruction. Alright, that's from, you know, lack of maintenance. When you do maintenance on the equipment, it will fail, and then when it fails, it turns into a lot of different issues. Alright, so you always want to replace your compressor, condenser, the metering device, and the accumulator. Alright, and like I say, I always nitrogen charge it, blow it out, put a hole in charge on it, and make sure there's no leaks. Alright, see, it's pulling the vacuum right now. Looking good. Right there at 30 inches of vacuum. Looking good. Everything looking good. Like I say, you want the low pressure switch you get from Amazon. It's cheaper than a local auto supply store. I ordered this a day ago and it came next day. Called Amazon Prime. Alright, if you got Prime. Alright, later. So I'm gonna let this vacuum run. Once it's done, let me sit for 15 minutes. Make sure that needle don't rise on the lower side. If it don't rise, I'm gonna dump liquid. I'm gonna weigh it in. I'm gonna weigh it in into the condenser. I'm gonna dumping liquid into the condenser side. Once it's done, I'm gonna start a car up, in the air conditioner for a blast, put the thermometer in the vent, and go over to where the accumulator is, and see where I'm at as far as the cooling in the car. How much I need to add to bring that cooling up to standard. Like I say, between 40 and 45. Alright. Alright, later.